What if your budget could bend with life? Real budgets feel useless when they ignore real life, the small surprises, and the routine that makes money feel manageable. In this video we will build a realistic budgeting approach that respects your income, your goals, and your psychology. You will learn how to track what matters, set practical limits, and keep a steady course even when life gets busy. This is not about perfection, it is about reliability you can actually follow. Real budgets feel useful when they connect to daily life, not just numbers on a page. They require honesty about variable expenses and the reality of busy weeks. In the rest of this video we will translate that honesty into practical steps you can apply this month. Realistic budgeting starts with a clear definition of what counts as realistic. It means basing your plan on actual income, bills, and habits rather than idealized expectations. The aim is a framework that you can follow even when surprises occur. Step 1 is to capture your income accurately. Begin with your net income after taxes and deductions, plus any reliable side earnings that appear each month. If you have seasonal work or irregular bonuses, create a separate line for them and decide whether to treat them as flexible extras or put a portion into savings. Step 2 is to track every expense for a full month or two. Use a simple method you can sustain, such as a single ledger, a mobile note, or a spreadsheet. Record rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, debt payments, and recurring subscriptions, then capture discretionary spending like meals out and streaming. Step 3 is to distinguish needs from wants. Needs are essentials that keep you housed, fed, and safe, while wants are everything else that adds comfort or pleasure but could be reduced without harming basics. Naming these categories aloud helps you resist impulsive buys and make intentional choices when you shop. Step 4 is to set a baseline budget that aligns with your reality. A common starting point is the 50/30/20 rule, 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings or debt repayment. Some people prefer 60/20/20 or tighter splits during lean months. The crucial part is choosing a structure you can actually maintain. Step 5 is to build clear category thresholds. Break needs into housing, utilities, transportation, food, health, and minimum debt payments, and break wants into dining out, entertainment, upgrades, and non-essential shopping. Give each category a monthly cap based on your data and your values, and check in regularly to avoid drifting. Step 6 is to create a buffer for irregular expenses and future plans. A small emergency fund reduces fear when life throws a curveball, and a sinking fund for irregular costs keeps money ready for car maintenance, holidays, and renewals. The buffer protects your basics and supports a calm, consistent approach. Step 7 is to think about debt and savings together rather than separately. If you carry debt, plan to allocate a portion of your savings budget toward paying it down faster. Automate minimum payments and aim for small extras when possible, plus a plan to address high interest or high balance items. Step 8 is to automate and simplify. Use automatic transfers to move money into savings and to cover fixed bills, and set up recurring payments so you do not rely on memory for every due date. A clean, automatic system reduces friction and keeps you from slipping into overspending. Step 9 is to apply psychology to daily habits. Humans prefer the present to the future, so attach new money habits to existing routines and create clear implementation intentions. Framing the budget as an ongoing experiment instead of a verdict helps you stay curious and compliant. Step 10 is to adopt a weekly review cadence. Set aside a short window each week to check spending, adjust thresholds, and celebrate small wins. When overspending happens, ask what changed and how you can adapt next week rather than blaming yourself. Real life changes require flexible planning. A raise, a job change, a relocation, or a family addition can shift your numbers suddenly. The sign of a good budget is resilience, a framework you can adapt, reallocate, and discuss calmly with others. Let us imagine a typical mid-range scenario. A household with a net monthly income of $4,200 faces fixed costs around $2,700. They allocate roughly 50% to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings or debt repayment, plus a small emergency buffer and sinking funds for irregular costs. This is an illustrative example to show how the pieces fit together, not a guaranteed prescription for every situation. Common mistakes include building a budget that is too tight to sustain, failing to record all expenses, and ignoring irregular costs until they become emergencies. Another pitfall is treating the budget as a punishment rather than a planning tool. The antidote is to reframe caps as boundaries that protect priorities and to schedule regular reviews. You do not need fancy software to succeed. Start with a simple spreadsheet, a notebook, or a light budgeting app that fits your style. Templates help you translate past data into actionable numbers quickly, and the most important tools are consistency, honesty, and a readiness to learn. To summarize, a realistic budget begins with honest income tracking, moves through practical expense categorization, and ends with a flexible plan that honors your life. The work is behavioral as much as math, requiring small, repeatable actions more than perfect execution. Start with a 1-month experiment, review weekly, and adjust as needed. By keeping the focus on predictability, psychological ease, and small, repeatable wins, you can build a budget that feels true to you and still helps you progress towards your financial aims. To bring the ideas to life, let's walk through a few more real-world angles that show how the framework behaves under different rhythms of life. In one household, a single parent works 2 part-time roles with a stable base but fluctuating hours. Their net income varies by a few $100s each month, but crucial bills stay the same. They decide to anchor the essentials first, and then treat the rest as a small, controllable puzzle. When the hours dip, they lean on a tiny cushion built from a $200 emergency fund and a minuscule sinking fund for car maintenance. When hours rise, they add a planned chip toward a debt or a larger cushion for upcoming school expenses. The habit remains simple: they move money early, review weekly, and let the math guide the choices rather than emotions. In a second scenario, a couple is saving for a major purchase, like a home improvement or a vacation, while balancing everyday costs. They notice that their combined take-home might be more than last year, but their fixed costs have crept up too. They implement a rule: every new expense goes through a quick check against a preset priority list. If the expense supports a goal or reduces risk, it stays; if not, it waits. They keep a dedicated sinking fund that accumulates gradually. When the time comes to book a project, the fund is already in place, reducing the impulse to borrow or overspend. A third case deals with irregular income. A freelancer or gig worker faces some months with gold-plated revenue and other months that barely cover rent. They adopt a base budget built on the leanest month and a flexible layer that scales with the variability. Fixed bills remain fixed in the base, while discretionary spending rides the wave. When money is plentiful, they push a chunk into savings and a smaller chunk into a separate fund for taxes, so they are not surprised by quarterly payments. When money is tight, they trim discretionary spending first, then reduce the flexible part of the savings plan for only what's essential, while preserving the integrity of the base. Another example comes from someone learning to live on a pure budget. They pair a simple rule: spend less than you earn and save whatever remains, with a weekly ritual of quick receipts and a monthly review. Their goal is not perfection but continuity. They create a short list of non-negotiables and a longer list of desired upgrades, and they test small bets. Can they stretch groceries by planning meals around what's on sale, or can they lower utility bills by turning down heat an extra 2 degrees in winter and cooling the house a touch less in summer? The key is experimentation, with clear outcomes and no shame about missteps. Now for practical steps you can take this week. Step 1. Pick a single, reliable income source as your anchor and verify it with a 2 or 3 month run of receipts. Step 2. Design a bare-bones needs category that covers housing, food, utilities, and transportation, then assign a fixed minimum for each. Step 3. Identify a safe place to park your savings, whether a separate savings account, a sinking fund, or a dedicated envelope in your budget. Step 4. Automate at least the most boring transfers so you can get the habit without thinking about it. Step 5. Set one weekly check-in time, and treat it like a brief coaching session with yourself. Step 6. Celebrate tiny wins publicly in your space or with a trusted friend to reinforce the behavior. Common mistakes to watch for are keeping a budget that is too aggressive to sustain, trying to cut every discretionary corner at once, and ignoring debt priorities. Another pitfall is not accounting for annual obligations, like insurance premiums or license renewals, and letting them crash your ratio when they hit. There's also the trap of assuming a budget must dictate every moment. In reality, the best budget adapts and grows with your learning. If you hit a stretch month, the solution isn't to abandon the plan but to renegotiate thresholds and to remind yourself that your system is a tool, not a verdict. Finally, a strong closing recap. Realistic budgeting is less about perfect numbers and more about predictable behavior that fits your life. It starts with honest income and transparent expenses, then built-in room for the unexpected through a buffer. It treats saving and debt as a pair, not a fight, and it leans on automation and weekly rhythm to stay on track. You do not need perfection, only a reliable rhythm that you can adjust when life moves. Start with a single month, observe what really happens, and grow from there. With patience, consistent checks, and small, repeatable wins, you can turn a nebulous plan into a steady, practical habit that supports your goals without stealing your peace.